Now, continuing from the last video, I had bestiality and zoophilia. This one is related to how it supposedly connects to the furry fandom. Word to the wise, it doesn't. Alright, but let's break this down a little bit. Now, bestiality, zoophilia, it's about having sex with animals. Yeah, not good stuff. And I expressed my views on that in the last video. Now, furries is having an interest in anthropomorphic characters. These are, as I mentioned in one of my first videos, animals with human characteristics, or if you want to take the flip side, humans with animal characteristics. Now, some of you are going, aha! He said animal characteristics. That explains why it's bestiality. Yeah, no. Guess what? Humans possess animal characteristics. We are classified as animals. We are part of the animal kingdom. And our looks alone are not going to set us apart. Look at the animal kingdom as a whole. Look how much it varies. We are not varied enough to be outside the animal kingdom. We classify in the same place. I mean, you know, if you're going to go off of it for purely physical reasons, then yeah, not so much. Now, what you might do off of that is go cross-species on us. And that would be a little bit more compelling. Because, in reality, furries come from a lot of different species. And there's a lot of different looks of them with their own characteristics. However, much like humans, furries are set apart by the mentality, by the brain power. That's the one thing that everyone agrees that sets humans apart from animals. And furries have an identical mental capacity, theoretically anyways. They're fictional. That's the idea, that's the mythos. That they are just as smart as humans, have just as much range as humans and intelligence. They just look physically different. Now, you're going to try to relate us to bestiality for those differences. But you know why bestiality is bad? There's no consent. Guess what? Furries, intelligent people, consent. Not only that, if you want to start disparaging people and saying what they do is wrong because of differences of opinion, where do you stop? Where do you draw the line to create that double standard? Because humans have been doing it all throughout history. We've had people mutilate their bodies, their feet, their necks, whether fat or not fat is acceptable or attractive, hairy and not hairy. There's just all sorts of variables physically that we find attractive or non-attractive that changes based on our culture, how we grew up, what we made up for ourselves. And if you're going to break this down to completely physical, then I'm going to go out and call you a hypocrite. Because guess what? Humans do it for everything. Like, let's see. Here in America, super skinny models, big boobs, nice ass, good face. Overall, pretty predictable. You go somewhere to another country, a lot of things tend to co-align. But things change. There was the whole thing with the neck rings where they had like the really long necks, which is like all weird looking for me, but they liked it. They had the things where they squished their feet and they had like, you know, this long of a foot when they get done and they can barely freaking walk because they've mutilated their feet, but they liked it. It was attractive to them. They've had cultures where the fatter you were, the more attractive you were, which is obviously different from America. And that was due to, it was a sign of prosperity, that you could provide for everybody because you had enough goats and whatever to actually get that fat and maintain that fat. But physical appearances, it's all subjective, man. It's in the eye of the beholder. So if you're going to go off of physical appearances and call us bestial and wrong for that, then you're a bloody hypocrite. I mean, you really... I guess you're just biased because you're human and you assume because, hey, it's not what I'm used to, it's wrong. But honestly, nothing else compares to the humans as far as mentality and brain power, and it's directly what furries are based off of, on mentality and brain power. We might have like a few characteristics of our animals mentally, like, let's see. Personally, I'm a lynx. You don't care about that. But I'm a lynx because of certain traits of my personality. I'm definitely curious. I'm not so much on the fickle side. If I've got your back, I've got your back, but well, yeah, I'm not graceful. That's a physical trait. But, you know, I'm curious. I strive really hard not to be arrogant, because if I let myself, I could be arrogant at a whim. I'm playful. I don't necessarily make sense. I can do something agile and graceful 1 minute and then be a complete buffoon and bust my ass the next minute. I act like a cat sometimes. It's the only animal I've ever been compared to for some reason. And it's just, you know, I mean, you know, these are like minor traits. And they're actually human traits that just happen to resemble the animal that I base myself off of in my fursona. So, I mean, go ahead, cast your stones. Call us a hypocrite. I mean, not call us a hypocrite. I call you a hypocrite for judging others on physical appearance.